Hello again. What did I hear? What did I hear? I know what I heard. I heard that the anchor for NBC, Brian Williams, well, it appears he's been put on suspension without pay. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but in his case, according to what's been reported, he earns $10 million a year, which means he'll lose $5 million of that. Do you feel sorry for him? Because like I don't. Now, NBC has a real problem, because if in fact more information is found that Brian had a habit of elaborating on his stories for self-gratification or to make him appear to be more influential than he is, he's got to go. He absolutely has to go. So we'll see what happens over the next 6 months. This thing just can't disappear. You know who else has to go? Well, there's apparently double standards going on here in the United States. Hillary Rodham Clinton. I've made a number of videos on this particular issue. Well, actually, there's a couple of issues. One of them is when she and Chelsea went to visit Bosnia. Yeah, and I've attached links to the videos, and you can go find them yourself if you like. But Hillary elaborated on her trip to Bosnia. Yeah, she said the airplane had to spiral down to avoid firing being done at them. Well, as I said before, if there was any kind of firing going on, you think the plane would have landed? I sort of don't. But Hillary didn't think far enough in advance. And then she said, as soon as the plane landed, both her and little Chelsea had to run for their lives because they were being shot at by snipers. Those snipers must be lousy shots, huh? Well, see, here's the problem. The problem is that there's video. There's actual video that you can see where Hillary is holding Chelsea's hand and they're walking as little children are throwing rose petals in front of them, singing to them. So, that's just one major lie. Now, how about when Hillary was in the rose garden with the chosen one with the big floppy ears? You remember when she was in the rose garden and she was saying, well, you know, I mean, it's the video. I mean, that's why, the thing happened in Benghazi, it's the video. Well, we know that that's not true, and we know that she knew that that wasn't true. Now, how about when they were at Dover Air Force Base? When I say they, I'm referring to Hillary Rodham Clinton, as well as the chosen one. And what were they doing there? Well, they were greeting the bodies that came back from Benghazi. Yeah. Ambassador Chris Stevens, Tyrone Woods, Glenn Doherty, and Smith. And what did Hillary do? Well, she went over to console the families, and she said, we are going to punish that producer that made those videos. Yeah, we will punish them. And what did Obama do? He pretty much said the same thing. And well, what did we find to be true? Well, she lied, because she knew she was lying. Now, could you imagine lying to the families that just lost their loved ones in a horrific slaughter in Benghazi, Libya? So can anyone take this proven liar as a potential nominee for the Democratic Party? Well, what do we know with the Democratic Party? Well, we know they're full of crap. We know that they lie as often as they can. But if anybody takes Hillary serious, there's something mentally wrong with them. She needs to be pushed aside. She needs to be held accountable. Pretty much the same as Brian Williams. He needs to be held accountable. He needs to go find something else to do. But then again, I don't feel sorry for Brian. You know, he's got to have a whole lot of cash stashed. You know what I mean? You don't go through $10 million a year for who knows how many years, huh? Yeah. So he needs to go find something else to do, and so does Hillary. And so does Billy Bob. What else did I hear? Yeah, there's some kind of a sex thing going on with Billy Bob. He's sort of being looked into with that financier that had that love place in the Bahamas somewhere, or some part of the world. And he used to take people there to entertain. And Billy Bob's been on that guy's cleans log numerous times. Yeah, but this isn't about Billy Bob. No, this is about Hillary Rodham Clinton and Brian Williams. They both need to go. Neither one has any credibility. And in Hillary's case, it's a whole lot worse, because she's the apparent frontrunner for the Democrats. So she and Billy can go back into the White House. Huh? You know the last time they were there when they left, you know what they took? They took the dishes. There was also a story that they screwed up all the computer keyboards. But I don't know if that's true. But do you really want someone like Hillary Rodham Clinton, who is an absolute liar? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attach that link for about the 5th time. You know, the one where she says, "Oh, sniper fire, we were spiraling down." Yeah, right. And she can't say she hit her head, because that happened later on. Huh? Now, I'm hoping that Trey Gowdy, who's heading up the Benghazi investigation, I hope he gets her on the stand under oath and they rip her a new rectum. Yeah, she needs to go. Anybody that donates a dime to Hillary, there's something wrong with them. I'm going to attach the video. You look at it. And you listen to her words. Ask yourself, can she be trusted with the code to the nuclear weaponry? Can she be trusted with the keys to the White House? I'm inclined to think not. And Brian, he needs to find something else to do. You can't get back what you lost. Neither one of them can get back what they lost. And you know what they lost? They both lost credibility. As did Obama. But again, he's the big cheese, so he can get away with murder. I think he has on more than one occasion.